Yes, Humphrey Burton will be at Ely Cathedral on the evening of Friday the 24th, revisiting a particularly significant event in Bernstein's career.
For me, Tony, it is indeed a revisit. I was in Ely at the behest of the German film company Unitel, who had signed a contract with Leonard Bernstein to film all the Mahler symphonies. Most of them were being done by the Vienna Philharmonic. But Bernstein always wanted to do something like the Resurrection Symphony by Mahler in a place somehow associated with resurrection, in other words, a big cathedral. I never knew why he'd chosen Ely. He did this performance first. He prepared it up in Edinburgh, and he performed it with the Edinburgh Festival Chorus in Usher Hall. But no, we were going to go to Ely, and this was because when he was a student at Harvard, his aesthetics course had included several lessons about Ely Cathedral being an exemplar of medieval architecture at its grandest, which of course Ely is. It's a mixture of more than one style, perpendicular and early English and Gothic or whatever. I'm not an expert myself, although I became one because I spent 2 or 3 days filming the heights, the octagon tower and things like that, which are a special feature about Ely, because in the Mahler's Resurrection Symphony, which we filmed in Ely Cathedral in 1973, there is a reference to the Last Judgment. In fact, the whole symphony is called Auferstehung, or Resurrection, and it's about coming to a new life through love of. I'm not a religious man myself, so I'm having slight difficulty in describing this, but you can certainly say it's a very powerful musical and religious experience. If you're a believer already, my goodness, you're going to believe all more. She says, Janet Baker was singing for us, and the lines that she has to say, "Oh, Glaube, believe, believe." This is what the music does in no uncertain terms. It's 70 minutes, and a very enterprising man, Tim Burton, has arranged for a screening in Ely Cathedral on the eve of the 100th birthday of Leonard Bernstein. In other words, it'll be on the 24th of August, a Friday. This really brings out the serious side of the Leonard Bernstein that so many people in the centenary are admiring, the man who was both a great conductor and a great composer. And the great compositions will get done at the proms the next day, but here we have him as one of the great interpreters of the 20th century. And above all, in these great symphonies by Mahler, which are like concertos for conductor and orchestra. They're always so exciting for the conductor. And Bernstein with the London Symphony Orchestra, with the Edinburgh Festival Chorus, with Sheila Armstrong, a radiantly beautiful soprano, and Janet Baker, divine. There's no other word for Janet Baker. She gets under the skin of the music so beautifully. And it's going to be shown on a big screen with stereophonic loudspeakers all around the place, recapturing what happened in Ely back in, it was also in August, I think, in 1973, when the entire Edinburgh Festival Chorus, 150 of them, came down by train, somehow found places to stay overnight in a school, I think. The entire London Symphony Orchestra, a big team of film crew, because it's shot with 6 film cameras, me and my colleagues as well. So it was a terrific operation, rather spoilt by it was at the time of the Troubles, the Irish Troubles at their peak, and we had a bomb scare in the afternoon of the dress rehearsal, so there was very little time to rehearse. And the crane fell over, I remember, within minutes of being put out, the crane camera. But all was right on the day, and it is a very powerful performance. So people who can make the trip to Ely will see the film in the place it was shot. And I think on this occasion it's a huge bonus, and the soundtrack is really tip-top still. So I hope anybody who can, who's in the Ely, Cambridge area, will come over. If anybody is listening and does, I'll be there. I look forward to meeting you.
People use the term filmed these days for anything that's recorded, but this was real film, wasn't it? 35mm.
These Unitel people were particularly keen. They were run by a visionary man called Leo Kirsch, who made his money out of buying Hollywood films and versioning them in German. But with his spare cash, he first worked with Herbert von Karajan, and then in the 70s he was absolutely devoted to Bernstein. Anything that Bernstein did, he would have on film. And I say film. Nowadays, you say film, they mean it's just videotape or digital. It's not even tape, it's just numbers whizzing around. Wonderful. Marvellously cheap by comparison to what it cost for us. But I shot on that night enough film material to have taken a train from London to Brighton. It was that kind of, thousands and thousands of feet shooting ratio, because I was using 6 cameras. We did quite a few repeats as well after the performance. But the quality of 35mm remains unchallenged. It's got a depth of focus and a burnished warmth about it, which you don't get on telly. So the sharpness of the picture is terrific.
Humphrey Burton, thank you very much indeed. And you'll presumably have your book with you about Bernstein.
Oh, thanks for mentioning that, Tony. You're quite right. I am doing a signing, I suppose, afterwards. Or I'll sign people's copies if they already have a copy of my book. I don't mind. I'm just so happy that this great film work, which Bernstein did all his last 20 years of his life, is being recognised in this very substantial way. And I hope that we will turn out, because I can guarantee them a very good time.